Well, hey there, I'm Stu Gray. It's the Stupendous Marriage Podcast. Thanks so much for listening. You can always follow me at Stu Gray on Twitter. I'm going to get back into doing a weekly email here shortly, and I'll let you know when I get that started. Just put that in the back of your head, that the email is coming back from Stupendous Marriage. Okay, today we're talking about being intimate friends with your spouse. Now, I really believe that intimacy and friendship are the two core pieces of a great marriage. We want to be fully intimate. Intimacy is more than just sex. It's really giving ourselves fully to this other person we're doing life with. And then friendship. I mean, we've got to enjoy each other. We've got to have lives that intersect with one another. It's fascinating to Lisa and I will sit down with couples and they don't know anything about each other's lives. They don't know their friends. They don't know what's on their spouse's schedule for the day or the week. And it's like, are you just living two independent lives? Are you guys not friends at all? What is this? And maybe Lisa and I just enjoy each other a whole lot, but we really believe that intimacy means not having any secrets from your spouse and being really, really good friends with them too. So that's what this is about today, sharing your interests with one another. I mean, I really believe that even if you just take up a hobby together, finding an interest that you both can do together, that draws you together. It builds your friendship. I mean, what did you start your marriage doing, right? We usually started by going on dates, and dates were usually several hours long, right? I mean, our first date was to a concert. We spent like 7 or 8 hours together. You know, it was dinner, and then it was the concert, and then it was after the concert, and then, you know, there was the Waffle House in the middle of the night, and there's a whole big story there we'll definitely get into again. But we spent time with each other. That is really important. So sharing your interests and developing a deeper friendship with your spouse. I think laughter is a priority for intimate friendship. If you can't laugh at yourself, if you can't laugh together with one another, it usually isn't good to laugh at each other, especially if you're fighting. I've learned that the hard way. Don't ask me how. But, you know, laughter is a priority, not taking yourself so seriously. I mean, life is tough, right? If you can't laugh about it a little bit when things get rough, it just weighs on you a whole lot heavier. Think about supporting your spouse's dreams. They have dreams and visions and goals for their life. And if you can make something happen in their life or enable them or encourage them to chase after their dreams in a way, I mean, we all have seasons in life. We can't do everything we want all the time, right? And I totally get that. But within the season you're in, can you encourage your spouse in whatever they want to do? I mean, if it's just, hey, can you take the kids for a day while I go, you know, have a girls' day? Well, yeah, I actually can. I can step up in that way as a husband. I can do that. That's a little dream that your wife might have, you know? Hey, can I go spend the day with the guys playing golf? You know, you got to talk about these things before they happen. You obviously can't do that on a weekend when you've got like 15 things going on that involve your family and extended family and graduations and your kids and blah, 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 blah. You know, you guys got to think about that beforehand. But if you can make a dream happen with your spouse, I mean, that could mean a lot. You've got to become a good listener as intimate friends. I believe that good listening is a full body sport. We've gotten away from really listening to each other in our culture. I mean, we usually have the little device sitting in front of our face, right? Even if I'm talking to Lisa, I have my phone going in front of me most of the time. And that's really sad to admit. That almost hurts me to admit that, right? And she'll go, okay, so I really want your attention. So can you put your phone down? And she calls me on it a whole lot. And it makes me feel horrible because I just get wrapped up in doom scrolling with my thumb. You know what I mean? So back to full body listening here. What you need to do, one, put down your phone like I need to learn how to do, but definitely turn toward your spouse. Eye contact is a good thing. Make sure you're listening more than you're speaking. Listen to understand, not to just jump into the conversation, not just to one-up them or try to finish their sentences. We've learned that we're different than we were yesterday and last month and last year. And when we started our marriage, we're different. We're different people, right? We grow up. Some things have changed in how we do life and what we believe. And if I assume that I know my spouse, my wife, better than I do, she will constantly say, I am not like that anymore. She'll call me on it. She's good at that. So again, full body listening is a big part of being intimate friends with your spouse. You want to spend time together. Again, I talked about it earlier. I mean, when we first started dating, we spent hours and hours and hours together. We couldn't get enough of one another, right? Where does that go? Well, it does go with life because life gets more complicated. We add things to it with responsibilities and jobs and kids and all the things of life, right? So it means priority. Prioritizing time together. Can you find 15 minutes where you can have coffee in the middle of the day, or right before bedtime where you can pray for each other, or maybe even before you go to work? Can you wake up and go through your day and go through your schedule and just see what you got going on? I mean, these check-ins are a good thing for your marriage. An intimate friendship, I believe, works on yourself before you try to fix somebody else. There's that biblical principle of the log in your own eye before you're trying to get the wee little splinter out of the other person's eye. You got this big old thing that you're hauling around in your head. And if you could get rid of that thing, that would make you a much more pleasant person to deal with. And it would give you new perspective on the other person's little itty bitty thing. I found in my life, I've had to work on that log in my own eye a whole heck of a lot. I can't fix or change my wife in any way at all. I've learned that I can change my responses. I can change how I react and the actions that I take, but I can't change her and her feelings and the things that she believes. And I've got to be better as a person, so I respond better and I react better to the things that she gives me and life gives me and my son gives me and the world gives me, blah, 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 blah. But if I'm not working on myself, I don't bring as good of a person to the relationship, and it's not as healthy in the long run. Does that make sense? Let me hit on these last two really quick, and they're good ones. You don't want to keep secrets in a good friendship. You don't want to hold anything back. You want to be fully intimate with your spouse, right? If you've got that secret checking account at the bank, that's probably a problem. That's going to bite you in the butt somewhere, right? If you're a guy and you're looking at porn and you're hiding it, right, that's going to bite you in the butt. That is not being fully intimate with your spouse. And then if we're talking about intimacy, I'm going to talk about sex. You've got to decide as a couple the big three. How often, how long, and what do you like and what you don't like? So it's about frequency, endurance, and performance. You got to decide those things between the two of you. So again, think about being intimate friends with your spouse. Share interests with them, make laughter a priority, support their dreams and their goals. Make sure that listening is a full body sport. Spend time together. Don't keep secrets. Work on yourself before you try to fix your spouse. And make sure to make sex a priority. Would you consider your spouse an intimate friend? I'd love to know. Send me a tweet. Send me a message on Twitter @StuGray. We'll talk to you soon.